Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said before, you are one of my first candidates that I have interviewed that is actually in office. All my previous candidates are currently running for office for the upcoming November election. So this is an honor to be able to do this and maybe something new that I start. One thing that I hear a lot is, I don't even know what a county commissioner is. I don't know who my county commissioner is. I don't know what they do. So we're just here to really talk about that. My goal is to change that for people and help them understand what this office is and why they should invest in it. This isn't about party politics. This is just really pulling back the curtain on what this job actually is. So we'll start off with, what does a county commissioner do, and explaining it in very simple terms. Like, really, if you were going to a school and talking to like junior high or maybe even like younger high school kids, explaining that job. So tell us who you are and a little bit about the job itself.
All right, so my name is Kendrick Jones. I have the pleasure of serving as County Commissioner for Precinct 3, which we currently are sitting in today. Our boundaries used to go from Purview all the way down to 529. Now we go all the way down to Morton Road, one of the largest precincts in land mass, but also one of the most diverse precincts, from representing farmers, ranchers, to 18-year-old college students, to you seeing acreage with large home, and you see young individuals live in apartments away from home for the first time.
Right.
But I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I graduated from Houston Lamar. I always like to let people know where I'm from, and then you get a chance to understand a little bit about me. So I grew up in South Park, Houston, Texas, went to Houston Lamar. My mom made sure that I was a magnet student, so I woke up very early to catch the school bus or the city bus to go to different schools, which allowed my upbringing to be a little bit diverse and allowed me not to just see the things that happen in my neighborhood, but also see the things that was happening outside of my neighborhood, which led me to want to be politically involved, because when you go to school across town, and you're wondering, hey, how do they have basketball nets on their goals? Why do their parks look a certain kind of way? Why do they have different stores or good roads? Then my mom would always talk about, it's about representation. And so I grew up hearing that, learning that very early on, and was taught that, hey, you want to have a seat at the table so that way you could be an advocate on behalf of your community or the people in which you represent. Didn't know that politics would happened so soon and fast. I was a 21-year-old college student just running for student body president, where some citizens, a part of the community, had asked me to run for city council there. Ran for city council, got elected Purview. Just mom looked at it as, hey, if you get elected, use that as an internship.
Yep.
If you don't, you're 21, who cares? And then if you don't like it, once again, you're 21 and you could move on with your life. I like to tell people I came here for a 4-year degree and haven't been back home yet. And the days are ticking as I continue to get older and see familiar faces. And it's like, well, I remember seeing you. So I would like to say it's been 12 years. And at the end of this term, it'll be 14 years. So I've been here pretty much. I do plan on running for re-election, which then, if God says the same, that'd be 18 years. So I've been here, or plan on being here, just as long as I grew up in Houston. I basically grew up here. And Purview helped a young boy grow into a young man, and the community is helping me grow into a man. And so after a second term of being on city council, some constituents asked me, said, hey, what are you doing next? I thought 4 years was long enough to serve as city council member, in which that's what the community had asked me to do. Hey, I was looking at moving on with my life. Same bigger group of citizens came and said, hey, have you ever thought about running for county commissioner? And guess what I said? I don't even know what a county commissioner does.
Right, looky there.
I just been city councilman. I don't know what a county commissioner does. And I give a lady credit to this day. Ms. Carter was like, you didn't know what a city council member did either, and you did pretty good at that, so I'm sure you'd be okay. So then I had to go research about what a county commissioner does to see if I could fulfill the job. And so my 1 + 1 = 2 easy pitch about what I say that a county commissioner does. I say a county commissioner is a part of controlling your quality of life. So that comes from roads, bridges, drainage, parks, neighborhoods. We play a little bit in special districts if the state give us the power to do it. I also tell people that it sounds like we have a lot more power than we do. but we really stepchildren of the state. As a city council member, I could do whatever we came up with as long as the state said I could not do it. As a county commissioner, I can only do what the state by statute tells me that I could do. And
Got
so
it.
part of your emergency service, your sheriff's office, we create and control a budget that ultimately provides services to our constituents. And most citizens at one point in time in Texas, people used to live within inside the cities and
Mm.
people used to move to the counties. Now in our state, more people live in the county than people live in the city.
Mm-hmm.
But people think that the county operates like the
Right.
city as far as like, oh, a noise ordinance, or
Mm-mm.
it's like, no,
Different.
I don't have any control over a
Right.
noise ordinance. And really, your county government, in my opinion, is your best government, but it's also your government that tries not to get too invested into your life as like noise on your neighborhood, different things like
Right.
that. And so quality of life is what I tell people.
Got it. What would you say for people who are starting to learn about it, or maybe they're asking questions and getting to know you? What is something in your responsibilities that people are surprised, like, I didn't know you did that? You ever get those kind of questions or surprises from people that people wouldn't expect about a county commissioner?
I would say probably building a new courthouse, or in my area, I would say is more so the influence of relationships. And so people don't necessarily think that you can't do anything, but they're surprised to see things getting done. So as far as us passing a road bond a couple years ago, the county had never passed a road bond. People's streets was falling further and further back. So you hear this road bond, you're like, oh, you're just going to tax me. You're not going to fix anything. And then when people realize, oh, we used to fix 8 miles of road, now we're fixing 40 miles of road. It's like, wow, like maybe government is working. So kind of restoring that hope, because I get phone calls, I'm like, that's not really my job, but I could connect you with someone else. But most people just want help. So it doesn't matter who they're getting the help from. They just want somebody to be able to help them out upon their situation. Like
Right.
I have a email right now that's talking to me about zoning. I don't do anything zoning wise, but I'm going to connect them with the
Right.
right people to necessarily be able to do it. It's
Right.
easier for us to say, hey, that's not my job, than to help guide people along the
Right.
job. So
Right.
I find it, me telling people that, hey, I'm helping you out, but it's not really my job. Like, I just want to set the expectations as far as what I could do as a county commissioner. And I could use my relationships or influence to be able to stir you in the right direction. But
Right.
I tell people more than that. Like, it's not really
Yeah.
it's not really my job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't evict people. Now, there's the eviction process, and I connect you
Mhm.
with somebody to let you know about that. But I tend to tell people that more than like surprised that they didn't know a county commissioner could
That
do it.
makes
It's like,
sense.
what,
Okay.
you can't do this? I
Yeah.
get that more
The surprise
response
what
more.
you can't
Yeah.
do. I guess that's more the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least you're a good landing spot for those people to guide them, 'cause sometimes that's just what it takes to learn, is to have to be impacted by something, and then maybe you just find an initial person, that person leads you to the next thing, and then at least that you now learn like who that person does that responsibility. So
Yeah.
it's a constant cycle of, learning these positions. But at least you get to be a starting point, and that's very helpful. So I appreciate you doing that work, because we need those people that are willing to, instead of just shutting them down, like, nope, not my job, and then they don't respond at all, you at least let them know it's not your job, but here's the person that does do it, and go that way.
Yeah.
That certainly helps people to continue to want to be invested, because if we just shut them down, then they do nothing
Yes.
except keep complaining. So take us a little bit through, now that you told us about the job, take us a little bit about what your job is like. What does a normal week look like for you? What are you doing throughout the week? What does a week look like for a county commissioner?
I love what I do because no day looks the same. You get a chance to be a part of organizations or committees to be able to lead a certain specific or special projects. So I'm on a long range planning commission. And so we sit there, we look at the county, we analyze the county strategic plan, come up with what buildings we may need in the future, how to be strategic about going along with fixing our roads. So some days I may be calling the county engineer 5 times. Sometimes I may be calling the drainage district 5 times. Sometimes I may be going to a different county that may be experiencing the same things that we have going on here, trying to meet with their county clerk or something to understand different processes or procedures to bring back here to say that hasn't worked here, but we've seen I always say you can learn two things from a group of people, and you'll be a fool not to take any one of the two. But you can either learn how to do something or how not to do something. And this is not the first time that a county in Texas has become the fastest growing county or one of the fastest growing counties in the nation. At one point in time, that was Harris County. At one point in time, that was Montgomery County. At one point in time, that was Fort Bend. We can learn how to do some things or how not to do some things. So I try to establish relationships within the region to be able to learn some tools and then try to schedule some meetings upon economic development to try to make Waller County a place where people could work, have fun, and live their life here and not have to travel so much to other places around the region. And so typically I'm just scheduling a bunch of meetings and then you come back to, I like to say our court is more so a policy. So when you look up county commissioner, it says that we're in charge of your roads, but not if you're on a unit system. And that is the toughest part for most constituents. So you was at a town hall I had the other day. I don't mind getting chewed out as part of the job, but hey, they had a road specifically that they wanted to see done. And I love the experiment of like, hey, this road's not done. And I'm like, well, hey, you think if I had control over it, that me having a town hall here today, I wouldn't have fixed that road before this town hall if I had the power? And a unit system, it doesn't allow us to do that. A unit system, precinct 1 has to negotiate, precinct 2, precinct 3 and 4. So we get a pocket of money and we're all arguing about this pocket of money to serve each road. So it's like, hey, you get 4 roads this year, I get 4 roads, you get 4, next person get 4. And we figure out next year, like, hey, and Ross takes into account like our ideology, but he also have his metrics. So I could be getting pushed from a group of citizens that's like, hey, the citizens are complaining about this road. And that road could be a yellow road, which we're tiered green as good, yellow as satisfactory, red as bad. I could have 4 reds and I'm getting pushed from the community. How do I juggle me going to Ross and saying, hey, it may be 2 people that live on this road. How do we look at, organizing or seeing how do we get the best bang for our buck? Now, when we get the county road bond, then that allowed for the commissioners to be able to have flexibility because we got a larger pool of money. I go talk to my constituents, got them to vote for it. They did the same thing. That allows us to really be able to go out and do some things. So sometimes it's like, hey, I have the power to do this. Well, no, hey, I want you to do this. It's like, well, here I have a little bit more power, but we more so here set up policy. And so I try to look at other places that have good policy. And now that legislation session is coming around, we try to see good policies that could have a positive impact on us or that could possibly have a negative impact on us and try to establish relationships with state reps. You always go to a person when you don't need them. So that way, when you need them, it's like you already have a relationship and a rapport and they understand where you're coming from to be able to serve. So I got a pretty cool, it's like as a kid, it's like, wow, I don't know what I'm going to learn today. Like
Some people like that. I think it takes a certain person to be able to do that. Some people really like consistency, kind of what they're familiar with.
That's boring. No, I'm joking.
Right? Well, to a personality like you, but there's people that like that familiarity. But right, it takes a certain person to be able to get in and learn something new all the time, right? I'm sure there's that level of discomfort, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but how do you know what you're doing if you don't just jump in and learn it anyway?
I told people I wish I was an engineer last year. So TxDOT scaled back their funding, which made engineering firms come to counties and cities to be able to get more work. Probably from this time last year to the end of the year, every day I met with a different engineering firm or developer that was looking up buying land in our area. And I'm like, whoa, this is like, so what do you mean by curb cut? What do you mean by setback? A lot of drawings on napkins where I learned some information or you got a pipeline coming through. What? Like, I don't know nothing about pipelines. So I tell people just because you come to me and I'm elected doesn't mean I know anything. I'm just elected to be a problem solver, which means that I'm willing to learn whatever the issue is to be able to solve it.
Yeah. That's what we voted for you to do. And you are out in the community a lot. You have a very strong presence on social media. I follow your Instagram page, so I see you out in the community, and people just want to have that communication. That's what's important. There's a lot of people, the roads are a hot topic. on Facebook groups, and I'm sure in your voicemails and all that. It's a hot topic, but there's a lot of people that just vent on social media and complain about it, and they don't actually try to go to the source and find out why it's happening. So things that you offer, like the town halls and other means to get that communication out to people, because people really just want to know. Yes, they want it fixed, but if it can't be fixed, they at least want the communication as to like why it's not, and then they can at least be more understanding about it. They're not going to like it, but at least we can say, okay, so it's just going to take a little bit more time, but we're working on it, kind of
Yeah.
thing. They just need that.
I tell people, if regardless if you vote for me or not, I'm your representative. You
Right.
live in the area. I happen to be a voice for you. And it is my job. Yes, the citizens have the will to be able to vote me out, but I'll remove myself personally whenever I get tired of setting up town halls or driving around the community. Sometimes, like, I don't post these things, but sometimes I'm just driving. And if I see someone taking groceries into their house or walking their dog, I literally pull over to the side of the street and like, hey, you got any comments, complaints,
Mm.
concerns? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, what made you do this? Well, sometimes you have town halls, and I wish that there was another way we could communicate. I try to use social media as much to hit the masses, but also realize that groups of people are not on social media. So
Right.
it's like, I have to be willing to meet the people where they are.
Right.
So that's why I'm having
Right.
hey, I don't know too many people that would be willing to have a happy hour town hall where people are going to come. Like, it's like I'm like giving you more ammunition to tell me how you really
Uh-huh.
feel, but I mean you where you are.
Yeah. Where do
If
you
this is
go?
a
Where do the people
community
go?
local, let's meet
Mhm.
here. It's out of convenience. And learned that being student body president at the
Yeah.
time. It would just seem like a group of individuals that like they only care about what they care about, and then it's like I had a vice president who was like, hey, man, you like to go play basketball? Let's go play basketball. We'll go play basketball. So now our guys that we playing basketball with, it's like more willing to support what we have going on because we walked into the area of them. We'll go hang out with the football players, the basketball, volleyball, the organizations. We'll have gatherings. And so then you get more and more people to buy in. So sometimes I go eat at a local restaurant just to sit there to allow me to walk around and talk to the constituents. And it's like, I remember being asked, the guy was like, man, Kendrick, how do you go from like the most rural part of your precinct to Purview? I'm like, y'all care about the same thing. And he
Right.
was like, tell me what I have in common with like an 18-year-old college student that may have came from the city. I'm like, that 18-year-old college kid probably got a car. Their mom tired of them hitting potholes to need a new front end alignment.
Yeah.
The same way you just complained about yours. Most people care about safety and making sure when they call 911 that they getting a responsive. Most people care about having adequate food resources in their community or opportunity. Most people just want to have a good job and a good quality of life or a place where they can stay and call their community. It don't matter what party you are, what race you are. That's generally the same concept of what everybody cares about. And that's where I spend my time trying to fix or solve those issues.
Yeah, basic necessities. People kind of forget to zoom out too much and forget to just really narrow in on what the basic things that we need. The other part of your story is it's really just about humanizing yourself, and you do that really well. So that people can, break down those barriers of which party you're on and just see you as a human being and someone who's there to help you. So putting yourself in those different areas, playing basketball, where people are, going to that town hall place or coffee shop, and just people seeing you as a regular person. Like, you're an elected official, not a celebrity. We voted you in there. So you're just like anybody else.
I
You
like to
just
say,
have a
y'all my
title.
bosses.
Yeah, exactly. You work for us. So you're no different than anybody else. You just have a title and you have more responsibilities. So that's it. So I think you do a really great job at that. So we talked about, meetings and being out in the community. What would you say? Do you spend more time in meetings versus community, or do you try to balance the two?
I try to balance it, but what I realized early on, so coming from being a city council member to being a county commissioner, I wanted to learn a lot. So I spent a lot of time like in meetings and like, hey, I hold a town hall, try to do something for the community, like at least quarterly, and
Mhm.
then try to just go places for people to be able to see me. Another thing, people don't realize we don't have a staff. I think I'm the Me and Commissioner Precinct 4, we both have a part-time,
Oh,
but that's like, I'm
not like
just
you have a
happy to set
personal
up a
assistant.
meeting. Yes. So it's like every calendar invite, we're responding to. Every meeting, we're going to, hey, we have to build coalitions. Like, and so at first, I felt like you get stretched. And so
Mhm.
then it's like, hey, you have a hard time, like, of,
Trying to be everywhere at once.
yes. So what helped me out though, I got to, I was running for reelection and I was in a primary against a lady who's from the community. And I felt like, well, actually, not even my feelings. Citizens were saying like, hey, the county, we've never gotten this much before from the county, all these kind of different things. But then you'll hear, but Kendrick, you didn't come by my house or you didn't bring me food. I'm like, man, I'm out here working for you. Like you just said, like in one sense, like, hey, I've never gotten these things. To then say like, hey, you also like, I'm providing resources, but I'm not doing like the social activity in that.
Right. They let you know.
And so then that, instead of me taking that as like being upset, I was like, man, how can I be a part of the community more? So then I started doing more Meals on Wheels, started partnering up, making sure the community could use the community center more. If I was a part of hosting the event, then I'm waiving their costs. So it made me have to be two places at one time. It's like, hey, this part is important, but you can't forget about this part as well. So I try to make sure I don't. That's why now I implement me driving around. When I'm driving around, see somebody walking, I'm stopping. Hey, how you doing? Like, hey, I may have seen you on your newsletter or your mailer or a sign, but it's like, no, hey, you could touch me here. Like,
Yeah.
you could send me. I try to give out my phone number, email at any point in time. And so it made me understand that, hey, you could be doing the work, but you also have to. That just makes you lose sleep
There's
and all
only
those
so many hours in the day.
yes, but it's okay.
So you've given us a great detailed explanation of the job itself and what you do in a week and how you're serving. Give us an idea of what's one of the most challenging parts of this office as a commissioner that you have found so far.
Government is slow. So give you two perspectives to understand why government sometimes has to be slow for certain individuals, and then how you would like to move faster for commitments for other individuals to understand. So I said on city council, we was having a water meter issue. And so I'm like, you hear constituents want me, next meeting I have on a city council meeting, like, hey, we need to bring in a company to upgrade how we've basically taken our payments and the system, bring the system up to 21st century system. So first city council meeting, they like, how much is this gonna cost? What are you doing? I'm like, y'all, the past city council meeting, y'all just complained about it. But then I realized, whoa, let me take this back. So I had one town hall introducing business to be able to, bring this software in. Had another town hall 2 months later to discuss what the cost of that would be. The next town hall had just citizens' input as far as whether or not they feel like we need it. That took 6 months. When the citizens said that they needed it.
Could have been an email.
Like, hey, we updated your system. But what I quickly realized in talking to some seasoned citizens, abrupt change like that, most people don't like. So most people need to be walked through to be able to talk about them buying into the system and what that looks like.
Right.
So as a county commissioner, I take that same ideology. The issue is you have to go through this group of people. Then you got to go through this group. Then you have to go before legal. And then legal we could sit down and have a handshake agreement. So per view, there was a dilapidated bridge, Cameron Road Bridge, that from time I was city council member to first 2 years in to being a county commissioner, I'm like, man, I got to fix this bridge. We have to go through, I started on it as a city council member, didn't complete it until I was a county commissioner because of the legal team, the interlocal agreements that you got to be able to have with the city. We passed a bond in 2023. Our first road job just started. Now, actually, the rain is delaying that. So Pennick Road is the first road that'll be starting to get done in my precinct. But most people will say, hey, why did it take so long? So you look at it this way. You pass a bond in 2023. You don't get that money the next day.
No.
Then I have to go procure engineers. The county has to go negotiate with engineers to see how do we get down the best price. Then we have to go design that road. Then we have to look at the flood and the drainage in it. So you're looking at 2.5 years. And then Nobody says that, hey, you passed a bond in 2023 of a certain dollar amount that your eggs don't cost the same that they cost in
Nope.
2023. So guess what? This road doesn't cost the same that it does. And
Right.
luckily, in our situation, we've done some good bidding and got the best numbers and got a good program manager. But you would just want to see your road done the next day. Like, hey, why is this gotta
Why
take so
not?
long? I go on a ride along with a guy. He's like, do you drive these roads? And I'm like, you couldn't ask a more insulting question. But I'm like, hey, come on, let's go ride. And
Right.
then I show him on the map. I'm like, hey, this road's gonna be fixed next year. There's nothing you could do today.
I wish.
I
I
wish.
wish.
But now I'm like, dude, and then you wanted me to fix a road that is just a pass-through road. And I'm like, look here, this road probably costs $5 million. You got citizens that live on a road that hasn't been fixed in God knows how long. And if they see that we paved the new road that leads for the pass-through that they don't live on, then you got to come campaign with me to fix that issue. But
Yeah.
so I see why it works slow in one area, but then the other side of it, I wish that you'd be able to speed it up. But
You can.
yeah,
And that brings us back to, why local politics matter so much and and why people need to be invested in it and paying attention. Because there are so many more ins and outs that we're just not aware of. And we aren't aware of it until we ask questions. We may not get the answer that we want to hear, but it is an answer and better than just kind of stewing and just being upset about things. Go to the source, go find out why it is and be invested in that and then share that information with other people so other people know as well. So now let's talk, why should people invest not just in this office but in county commissioner? Your position isn't up for reelection come November, but there are other county commissioners that will be on the ballot. What should people pay attention to when learning about the county commissioner and electing the right person for the job? What are some things that they should be looking for?
so I even give you a broader answer. I say when I wake up or if people ask me, I'm from Texas. I care about Texas politics before I care about America's politics. I
Mm-hmm.
think the best politics is the politics that you could touch, feel, hear, speak.
Mm-hmm.
Usually impact of the Congress and the laws that they make. Yeah, they have a trickle down effect, but when we vote on something that has an immediate impact. And so I always like to tell people the best politics is your local politics because those people also can be your advocates to your state reps, your state senators, your House of Representatives, and your U.S. senators as well. So if you could care about what's happening in your backyard and elect people, I don't even want to say that has necessarily the same ideology as you because I think that's what cancels a lot of people too. Me and my friends or colleagues or just people I come across all the time, we could agree on 9 things, but the 10th thing, I'm not going to go for you. And it's like, well, I don't know if a husband and wife agree on half of the things, but they try to stay married. It's a relationship. It's a give and take. For me, I think it's important that you have a representative that come and listens to you. The first part of anything is being able to share your voice. And when you're able to share your voice, hey, this person may disagree with you, but now you have a direct line of communication to where you may say something to alter a decision or a mindset where it's like, hey, I didn't look at that or see that like that before. So it's like, I think we're getting away from people sharing a difference of opinion and also being okay to be friends with people that share a difference
Different.
of opinion for you because I don't want to hang around people that just have the same ideology as me or that's not challenging my frame of thinking because I didn't grow up that way. So
Right.
I grew up in a way to be able to challenge one's frame of thinking, to ask why things are like that. And so I think people should be able to come and ask me like, hey, why aren't things moving like this or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be. So I would say vote for someone that is showing up in your community. And I always like to say that the best thing about a resume is it shows you what people have done. And so most of the time when I run for office, I give you a report card. I don't give you like, I want to do this and do that, do this. I said, hey, you give me 4 years, these are the things I'm working on. And so when I come back for reelection and the thing that I like to do is bring you back those things that I said I was going to run off of. And then you have the ability to grade me because I
Right.
told you these was things I was going to work on. And now I'm bringing you back to, hey, these are things that I've done. Now want the community to help me come up with a new list of things that they want to see done. And let's go tackle those things rather than people just saying that, hey, I want to do this. And then it's like, that has nothing to do with being a city council member or a county commissioner or whatever office you run for. It's like, they don't even have an impact on that. But pulling from the emotional, which I think that plays into a part of
Mhm.
people losing faith to hope in their frame of government or even voting at all. When I
Mhm.
walked into a town hall, I already know that people are going to be like, one, this looks like someone's kid. The second part is he's full of it. He's not going to tell us the truth. And now I have to work hard to be able to combat that. And the
Yeah.
reason why I go show up is because it's like, hey, no, I want you to hold me accountable. And
Mhm.
if I failed, I could say I failed. And if we disagree, I could tell you why I also disagree. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some that we're agreed on. And so don't get so turned off that, hey, this person don't have 100% of the same ideology as me. It's like, hey, this person willing to show up, this person willing to listen, got the drive and ambition to actually go get things done and to show me that they're getting things done, then go cast a vote. Go find someone that is willing to listen to you and be an advocate for your community and have a voice at that table. Because if not, then I feel like even I tell my friends, if you don't go vote, you voted for whoever the majority was.
Right.
And all you could do is complain from the outside, but you didn't provide any solution to actually be a part of the process.
Correct.
And so we need to invite more people to be a part of the process, go meet people where they are, and allow them to know that, hey, sometimes you're not going to get everything you want. But I told my constituents, hey, if you never got anything before and I was able to bring you 3 or 4 things back,
Yeah.
then to me, that looked like you got some good representation. And hopefully I can go fight to be able to bring more things. But I think for county commissioners, it's also important for you to vote for people that come listen to you, understand the importance of the community and what the community want to see. So then, therefore, they could go work on behalf of that. But
Yeah.
I think that philosophy is true for city council, a county
Yep.
judge, a school board member. All our jobs is to listen and try to go be problem solvers.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for that. So we'll end with a little fun little lightning round here. So just a few questions. Coffee or no coffee?
Coffee.
First thing you do when you get to work.
It's embarrassing.
That's okay.
But I take everything out of my backpack, all my journals, and I lay them across the table
Okay.
because I like to write. I feel like if you write it, you see it, you can achieve it, you believe it. It just plays a mental trick on you.
Yeah.
But that's embarrassing for
Manifesting.
me to say.
Well, that's a great thing to say.
The clutter.
What's one county issue you wish more people knew about?
How important building infrastructure is. And so quick little deal is we're trying to catch up on our roads. Even at the town hall, lady's like, hey, I hear you building a new precinct building. She's like, but the roads and that building may cost 10 million. I'm like, man, my county constable had a snake in there. The building almost caved in. We don't have the adequate security for the courtroom, for the justice of the peace. Like the state is making us with some of the tax deals that they're doing and putting a ceiling on us is making us choose between a sheriff deputy or engineer, an engineer or a librarian. Which one of those 3 things are important? They're putting it in our hands for us to have to choose, which is not fair. But then people say, why you can't do a bond for a building? And I asked her, if I put a building up for a bond, what would you do? You would say, I don't use it, so
Yeah.
you don't need it. When really the services and the workers or the employees use those buildings to be able to provide a better service to you. So buildings in county government are just as important as any other infrastructure. But I don't think people, it's like, I've never used the jail. I'm not going to jail. I never used the courtroom. But then I
Somebody
say,
will.
hey, if they commit a crime and we don't have a courtroom and the judge is not able to sentence them for a crime and they go out and commit another crime, guess what you're going to say? Oh, the county commissioners didn't, but you wouldn't vote or approve for us to have a building. So buildings are very important, especially with counties that are growing this fast to
Yeah.
be able to hire people, put them in the right environment and everything.
Yeah, definitely. What's the best part of serving Waller County?
When people don't believe that something to get done and it gets done and you restore their hope. But also the thing that is unfamiliar to a lot of people is that in times of need or crisis, you see Waller County come together. And when tragedy happens or when a big emergency or hurricane or anything come like that, we don't have parks because everybody house is a park in their backyard.
Yeah.
The family environment that's created in moments of crisis here, I think we have to come together like no other. Kind of change a little bit with the subdivision and homes
Yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
but you gotta be careful what you talk about because everybody family.
True
But
that.
when it's times of crisis, everybody remembers that they're family. It don't matter what happened, whoever. It's like, hey, you need some food, come get some food. No, we'll fight again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dysfunctional family. Yeah.
Say that for later. All right, finish this sentence. Finish this sentence. I wish more people understood that.
That we're Texans, not parties.
I like that. It's a good way to end it.
Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing, please.
Thank you for taking the time to meet me today and giving a better explanation to the people of, what this job does and why people should be invested and just really how important not just this office, but, our city government, our county government and state government, all of that is just very important to pay attention to. And I hope that this video can help bring some more awareness to that.
I also want to tell you that you say that, you feel like you don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it because most people, I feel like there's tree shakers and jelly makers and there's processes of everything. The guy who cuts the box, not the same person who tapes it. And we need more allies to be able to educate people upon the process. When you come to the candidate for the education, it's manipulation. Like I'm trying to get you to believe in the idea and theory, which of course I want you to vote for me.
Right.
But there got to be other sources for people to be able to get educated and learn information, and you're providing them one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.